Two races down, 3 to go to this trip to Road America for the USF Pro Championships presented by Continental Tire. A wild morning. Of course, the opening rounds for both USF Pro 2000 and USF 2000. We're back-to-back here on this broadcast, starting with the USF Pro 2000, second race of their triple header. My name is Rob Howden. Welcome, race fans, to the America's National Park of Speed. And joining me right now, a driver who's been very good here over the past last year's USF 2000 Rookie of the Year, Joey Brienza from Exclusive Autosport. You like this racetrack. As a rookie last year, couple of podiums, 6 already today. Tell me about what you expect this afternoon.
Yeah, this place is incredible. It's really hard to put it into words how cool this place is. The speed, the corners, all the fans that come out. It really feels like one of the street races that we have, just with the sheer amount of people that come to it. So it's incredible. I love this place. I mean, I have over a 50% podium rate here, so I got to keep that going. But, I mean, I love it. 6 this morning, best finish in pro so far. Going to try to crack into the top 5 and hopefully get a podium or two to keep this this percentage high here.
Okay, what is it about this racetrack, Road America? It's tough, right? Long straightaways, a lot of braking. What is it about it that makes Joey Brienza so fast here?
Dude, I wish I could tell you. If I could tell you, then I could translate it elsewhere. But for me, I just love the speed. There's a lot of opportunities, and the track has a good flow to it. Even though it has a lot of long straights, there are sections that just flow really nicely together. And yeah, it creates very exciting races, tactical races. I mean, most of the corners here you can pass. You can pass 1, 3, 5. You know, I could list them all, and you can make passes in all of them, but it's really tactical. You have to be smart. You have to plan your passes out. You know, if you pass into the last corner, you're going to get passed into one. So it's a lot of tactical thinking and just really planning. You're playing chess out there at 160 miles an hour.
Another little factor we're going to throw into the race here this weekend today on a Saturday afternoon at Road America is the temperature. Joey, it's going to be mid-90s, heat index over 100. All that work you do in the gym, is it going to pay off now? What was it like this morning, and what are you expecting in the race today?
Yeah, it's going to be hot. It's going to be really, really hot. This is nothing like I've experienced in the past except, or I shouldn't say nothing. I've experienced this before at COTA in USF Juniors. It was 107, 108 degrees at the race start, so this is going to feel easy to me. After going through that race where, I mean, the pedals were so hot, it was like hurting to press on the brake. So it was hot there. I do a lot of sauna work, surprisingly. At the end of all my lifts, I'll spend 20, 30 minutes in the sauna. It's nice to relax, collect my thoughts after a lift, and yeah, no, this morning it was hot for sure. I got out of the car and I was like, oh man, it's gonna be interesting later today at 4 o'clock. But no, I mean, I'm more than prepared. I'm in the best shape of my life right now, and the heat won't faze me.
Sounds like Joey Brienza's not worried about the heat at all. He knows he's fast here. He's going to try to get to that podium, like you said. A fantastic streak of podiums through juniors and USF 2000. Try to get that first one here in USF Pro 2000. He's not worried about the heat. Neither are our guests here this weekend, because they're up in the suite that we have here at Road America, air-conditioned, the best place to be here this weekend. At all the events we have for IndyCar, we have suites that are available, hospitality packages for people who want to come and really experience our event on another level. We had a look at our hospitality program. Want to get closer to the action? At the USF Pro Championships, you're not just a spectator. You can be part of the experience. Join us for exclusive hospitality opportunities that include guided paddock and garage tours, where you'll see the race teams up close and learn what it really takes to prep these high-performance machines. Ever dreamed of saying, drivers, start your engines? With the USF Pro Championships, that's not just for celebrities. It could be you commanding the start of the race. With our VIP packages, you could feel the adrenaline from the flag stand, where fans can get an unparalleled vantage point for race starts. Or where you put on a racing helmet and buckle in for the ride of your life in our Honda Civic Type R pace car, just minutes before the race begins. You can also get access to trophy presentations, standing right alongside the champions on the podium as they celebrate victory. And if that's not enough, you can cap it off with a VIP dinner package featuring appearances by USF Pro drivers. Whether you're a lifelong racing fan or brand new to the sport, the USF Pro Championships offers a fan experience that gets you closer to the action than ever before.
you can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
Of the day, the temperature has rose probably around over 10 degrees at least. 91 degrees here trackside. Just a walk outside, unbelievably warm. The heat index is working its way up to 100 degrees. It is going to be a challenge for the drivers here in the USF Pro 2000 program, the second race of their triple header. They'll be back on the racetrack tomorrow morning as well. Indeed, getting ready to fire things up here. Let's have a look at the grid. 18 drivers set to go again here for another 15-lap contest. Starting at the tail of the field, the driver rolls in here, currently sitting third place in points on 3 wins. A DQ in qualifying, underweight on the scale. Alessandro D'Attulio for Turn 3 Motorsport. Keep an eye on that number 44 coming from the tail of the field. He will be lighting things on fire, trying to get his way back to the front. He'll start alongside another driver who had some trouble as well in qualifying. Michael Costello promised me he's going to put on a show in the Pabst Racing number 20. Driver out of Naples, Florida, ready to get up on it and work his way forward. Hey, and how about the driver in front of them? Again, starting at the tail of the field in race 1, got himself all the way up into the top 10, deeply into the top 10. Ariel Elkin, 3 wins in May, 2 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, 1 on the oval at Indianapolis Raceway Park for TJ Speed Motorsports. Second place in points. Ariel Elkin starting all the way back in 16th. There is some big hitters further back in the field. 61 years old, or 61 years young, if you will. Fat Boy Racing's Charles Finelli set to roll off from 15th inside of row number 8, and he is driving the number 83. Row number 7, Carson Etter, a little miscue at the start of the race, going deep into turn number 5 in race 1. Watch for him to work his way forward. A top 10 car here today. Etter will be up on the wheel in the exclusive Autosport Priority Workforce number 92, and alongside him from New Zealand, the rookie Sebastian Manson in the number 28 for TJ Speed. Going down to row number 6 on the outside, Tyke Durst out of North Carolina in the number 33 for Turn 3 Motorsports. He'll start 12th alongside the Mexican George Garce Arce for D-Force Racing in the number 10. Up now to row number 5, starting 10th on the outside from Portland, Oregon. It's the number 2 Turn 3 driver, Cooper Becklin. Becklin on the podium at Indianapolis. He'll start alongside the driver who calls Indianapolis home. That is Logan Adams for the Comet Newcastle Motorsports Park Racing Team. Adams was able to work his way into the top 10 in race number 1. He'll start there, P9 for Adams here in race number 2. Moving to row number 4, driver who started out the show with the pre-race with me, Joey Brienza. 2 podiums last year in USF 2000, a solid 6th place finish in race number 1. The exclusive Autosport driver going to start in the 8th spot alongside Nicholas Montiero in the number 22 for Turn 3 Motorsports. Moving now to row number 6. Podium last year as well for this driver here in USF Pro 2000. Fast Frankie Mossman out of California in the number 84 in the VRD Racing Machine starting in 6th. And Joseph Loke making his debut here this weekend, the driver out of England for Turn 3 Motorsports. A very talented, highly decorated driver from Europe coming over here for a one-off here with Turn 3 Motorsport. Loke, the rookie, set to roll off from P5. Row 2 will have a couple drivers, no stranger to the top of the box here. Jacob Douglas finishing 3rd spot earlier today in race 1, a winner at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Pabst Racing driver in that number 19 position. He is 5th place in points coming into the day. He'll start alongside Max Taylor, 6th place in points, but last year's USF Juniors champion. He has won races in USF 2000. He's now running in USF Pro 2000. Indy next already, finishing 8th at Barber Motorsports Park. The young driver to New Jersey in the number 88 for VRD Racing, Max Taylor starting in 3rd. Let's move now to the driver in 2nd spot, currently sitting 4th place in points, but only 3 markers behind D'Attulio. That is Matt Clark in the Corpay Cross-Border Solutions machine. The Canadian will roll off from in the number 90 from 2nd spot, former USF Juniors champion, and he is ready to attack here now. One thing to think about, fresh rubber for Matt Clark. We did not have fresh rubber, I believe, on the guy right here. That's going to be used rubber for Max Garcia. He went fresh in race 1. Clark went used. They'll flip-flop it around. We'll see if that's enough to have Clark potentially battling it out with this man right now, the driver who is on the pole, Max Garcia, the number 264, or the 264 points. Last year finished every race of the year, all 495 laps off the top of my head en route to the USF 2000 championship. Guess what? he has not finished outside the top 4 yet this year. He's finished every race lap. Again, this kid is an absolute burner when it comes to consistency. Garcia for Pabst Racing with the USF2000 scholarship livery on the car. He will be on the pole. Clark alongside him. Taylor and Douglas on row number 2. Loke and Mossman row 3. It'll be Monteiro and Brienza row 4. Adams and Becklin row 5. Garcia, Arce, and Durst row 6. Manson and Eder row 7. Finelli alongside Elkin on row 8. Costello and DeTulio on row number 9. Engines coming to life on pit lane. We're firing them up. Eric Miller, the voice of Road America, will join me here in the broadcast today as he has throughout the weekend so far. There he is right there. Max Garcia getting ready to roll off to try to get yet another win. 3 on the season so far. Green to checker the first race, Eric. Can we do it again?
I certainly hope so. That's my favorite way to go racing with this USF Pro 2000 championship. Just like to see the elbows up and the honest attack for these drivers. But Max Garcia has not put a wheel wrong all weekend. But is there ever a chink in the armor? It's going to be starting on used tires with Matt Clark on fresh stickers behind him. We joked in the second round of qualifying that it was the Brady Bunch of the first 2 rows with Max, Mac, and Max. But in this situation, Matt Clark is no stranger to attacking this racetrack either.
Yeah, he knows how to win races. There's no doubt about that. The young Canadian driver lives just outside of Toronto. Just looking at the actual record of the drivers so far, 3 wins for DeTulio, 3 wins for Elkin, 3 wins for Garcia. That victory for Jacob Douglas, not surprising. All 4 of those drivers inside. Something just fell off one of the cars coming down here. You saw that. If you were watching it, some piece just rolled off down into turn number 1. Not sure what that was. But again, 4 drivers have won races so far this year. Within the top 5, Matt Clark, the only driver, has not stood on top of the podium yet. A very real possibility considering the new tires, the speed he has, starting on the outside of the front row. We'll see how it plays out for Matt Clark. A 15-lapper green to checker in that first race. They'll do the reconnaissance lap around the facility here right now. Max Garcia with the point lead. If we look at the top 5, Garcia with 264 points. He is 60 points up on Ariel Elkin. That is almost 2 full races. 33 points the most you can get, 66 over 2 races. So he is close to being 2 full races of points up on Elkin. Again, very close for second, third, and fourth. DeTulio 2 points behind Elkin. Add another 3 for Clark. So Clark's only 5 points. So 5 points separate second, third, and fourth. Elkin, DeTulio, and Clark. And then Jacob Douglas. You can see it's getting into a place where it's really almost a 1-car championship, but maybe 4, as Douglas, again, a further 33 points behind Matt Clark in fourth. So all told, very likely 4 drivers still in a championship battle. 2 more races still to go here this weekend. And like I said, I've seen leads of over 70 shrink down to 3 or 4. So you never know what can happen when you're rolling through a weekend run here. And again, the crew in here is trying to figure, Eric, what do you see? You guys are using a different camera feed to try to pick up what you thought came off that race car.
Well, if this was a dirt track, I would tell you that was a setup block. But it looks like maybe a wheel chuck.
So potentially the wheel chuck put in front of the wheel, maybe set on the what do you call that? The floor plan, the tray of the car, and then it just wasn't grabbed afterwards.
It jettisoned.
Oh, all right. Well,
or as the kids would say, it yeeted itself today. Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. Good for you, Eric. That's impressive. The lingo of the kids today. Let's just put it this way. Thankfully, it's not a component necessary on the race car.
It doesn't look like a necessary component. So we don't want to make any assumptions.
Give me the percentage. What are you thinking, 90%?
90%.
Do you feel comfortable
I feel comfortable with that.
All right. Well,
something to do with the setup.
It's probably a wheel chuck. It's 100%. You never know. Again, you know how the straightaway is. It actually rolls backwards as well, right, coming down the hill. So good potential that they just grabbed that, tossed it up in the front, and didn't get a hold of it. So we won't say which car it came from, because that's not what we want to do right now. No blame.
It's not on the racing line. It's off the racing surface, and unless somebody gets in the gravel, it's nobody's business.
I love it. Live timing up. We're getting ready to go. They'll go, well, again, as we said, green flag this next time by. Cannot wait for this one to get underway, and then we're going to do it all again tomorrow. That's the beauty of this thing. We're going to get back at it first thing tomorrow morning. A triple header for the drivers here in USF Pro 2000. It is the Elite Engines Grand Prix of Road America. The drivers are going to work their way up here. Remember, when they come out of turn number 12, 13, they're supposed to be lining up. They are. Very quick start. Some of the tail runners here need to get back on the power. Garcia led them strongly. They'll work their way back up the hill. Pace car speed. The rest of the field's rolling themselves up in there. Remember the guy starting at the tail of the field. DeTulio, Costello, Elkin wanting to get on the power. Coming up the hill. DeTulio at the back looking to time it as well. Watch for Aaron Likens. Race number 2. Green, green, green. And it'll be the big, long drag race down the line. Look how long it is down from the start-finish line to the first corner. 2, 3 wide. Don't go down the inside too much. They'll get 3 wide coming through the corner.
That looked like Max Douglas, or Jacob Douglas rather, on the attack on the outside, 3 wide at the initial start.
Frankie Mossman, one of the drivers, down to the inside as well. You can tell by that the brighter roll hoop on the halo there, picking that car up as he went to the inside, coming out of turn number 1. Good job through 1 and 2 for the Pro 2000 drivers. Man, I'd love to see us go green to checker again. They did a great job in the opening sequence. We did have an incident at the very end, but we were able to stay green. Again, here it is. This is elbows up. This is when you get an opportunity to make the passes. Big brake lock up coming down the inside. Roll around the outside for Clark. He knew he had the grip level out there. Back on power early. You can go to the inside. Remember, it's dirty. Clark's actually going to go back to P4. He must have had some trouble on the exit. He was able to get through the corner of Clark back into the 4th spot. One driver 4 wheels off as they'll stack it up a little bit coming through turn number 7. Clark not able to get a big run through. You wonder whether or not there might have been a little bit of contact there, because I want to say it's Max Taylor now up into the 2nd spot. Taylor able to take advantage of it, dives up into P2 as Max Garcia out to the early lead. He leveraged this yesterday for sure. Single file all the way through the 18-car field as they come down and through the carousel for the first time. We'll have a little challenge into the kink. Oh, man, that was Joseph Loke inside of the kink. Eric, that comes from a guy that probably hasn't raced here that much, right? He hasn't seen what happens. But if you don't, what do they say? What you don't know won't hurt you. My goodness,
that was considerably close. One of the turn 3 cars also was 2 wide on the outside, going the long way around into the entrance of the kink, a little bit further back into the field here. But this opening lap here of USF Pro 2000, race number 2 of the weekend. Of course, round 3 tomorrow morning, as Rob mentioned yesterday, or tomorrow morning at 7:55 tomorrow morning.
So here we go. Let's put lap number 1 in the books. Max Garcia's got a lead. Fantastic start and jump there for Max Taylor as he goes up into the 2nd spot. Jacob Douglas 3rd, Matt Clark in 4th, Nicholas Montiero in 5th, Frankie Mossman 6th, Logan Adams, Joey Brienza, Cooper Becklin, and Tyke Durst. Guys from the back, DeTulio already to 12th, Elkin to 13th. Remember, Costello started 17th. Costello, where is he now? I picked Costello. Oh, he's 14th, right? So, yeah, they're essentially 12th, 13th, and 14th. I thought he was a little further up for some reason. It was not Joseph Loke that made that move. I thought it was Loke. It was Nicholas Montiero who made the move to get to the inside of, I believe, of Frankie Mossman there. That was a really strong move, Eric, to the inside of the kink. You're really relying on the driver on the outside of you to potentially realizing that he's got the inside to check up, because it is super hard to go side by side through there.
Well, especially if you're not right alongside somebody. If you've just got the wing just tucked to the inside, you're in a really dangerous position, because not only that, but if you've got any amount of understeer going into that apex because of how shallow you are, that exit becomes very troubling to push out wide.
Yeah, agreed. You saw a lot of action, a little outside, or inside and outside the top 10. Look at these drivers. They are 2 wide coming through. I'm assuming that is going to be, not surprisingly, the attacking Elkin, DeTulio, and Costello. They're trying to make hay here to see if they can't work their way up. They know those guys up front are pulling away. They're super aggressive right now, trying to work their way forward. Matt Clark right back onto the gearbox right now of Jacob Douglas, trying to put the pressure there. The exclusive Autosport driver who finished 2nd in race number 1, moves himself up, as I said, to within about 5 points of Ariel Elkin in 2nd in points. He's currently running all over the gearbox of Jacob Douglas, looking for that mistake. There's another move right there to the inside. You saw the green turn TJ Speed machine of Ariel Elkin. He and DeTulio pushing very hard to try to work their way into the top 10 here over the first couple laps. There's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And that will be Garcia, Taylor, Douglas, Clark, and Montiero. Again, the battle further back is watching these drivers we know who have top 10 speed, the DQ for weight for DeTulio, the trouble in qualifying for Costello, who went off over the carousel, and of course, as we know, electrical issues plaguing Ariel Elkin in both qualifying runs. There's the move for Clark. He'll get to the inside. Book it. He's through, coming through turn number 1. Matt Clark goes back to 3rd to the inside of Costello. So great run there. Not Costello. He gets to the inside of Jacob Douglas. Matt Clark lost position early.
Eric fought back, took his time, and blasted through on the inside of turn number 1.
That's the biggest thing that you've got to have is patience here. When you do make a mistake, you know that this is a long lap here at Road America. So, yes, there's only a 15-lap race, but you've got to keep in mind that these drivers have the ability, and a big lockup there going into turn 5. I believe that may have been Matt Clark. Not sure. Just happened to look up and saw the smoke up in turn 5 rolling through, but that was definitely the top 5. But one thing to know that Ariel Elkin is now up into the top 10 from the back of the field now.
Got a driver slowing further back here. Pick that up coming through turn number 7. That looks like to be one of the Pabst racing cars.
That be Costello again with mechanical issues?
Well, remember, Costello didn't have the mechanical issue. He's the driver that went off. I keep saying Costello because he was that driver up in that lead group. You're trying to battle his way forward. Yeah, being confirmed it is the 2-0, the 20 of Costello, who is slow. Oh, what a rough weekend for Costello. Indeed, slowing on the racetrack, coming out of turn number 7, down now to turn number 8. We'll see whether or not he tries to limp it all the way back at this point here. But, man, rough one indeed for Costello, who is looking to bounce back. He's got another chance to do it again tomorrow. That's the big thing. Ariel Elkins worked his way up into 10th, DeTulio into 11th. So those drivers continue to fight forward. Costello, who was trying to come through with them, now going to be sidelined with some kind of a mechanical. Frankie Mossman moves up to 5th. Logan Adams is up to 6th spot. Yeah, there's that move there. He had nothing. And I'll tell you, the best he could have done was maybe come straight off the track, but he has moved to driver's left on the inside of turn number 8. I'm going to say that's probably going to be a full course yellow.
Trying to get to the cut there.
Yeah,
too.
One driver coming into pit lane here as well from further back. Unsure who that was into pit lane, but indeed Costello is going to come to a stop.
Sebastian Manson, I believe.
Okay, so Manson potentially the driver indeed. Yeah, the New Zealander off the racetrack. Still looking at Aaron Likens, and here it comes, folks. Yeah, full course yellow here at start finish. The stranded car of Michael Costello, who falls to the tail of the field, 18th. Something mechanically wrong with the number 20, and as I say that, he's trying to refire it. There are times where you'll have an issue with the steering wheel, that it may go dead or the car will go into limp mode. If something electronically is wrong, it goes into limp mode where it thinks that there's an issue and you're only able to get stuck at a certain RPM. That's a possibility here. It looks like this thing shut right off for him. He's trying to I'm sure they're on the radio saying, hey, recycle, shut off the steering wheel, turn it back on. AMR IndyCar safety team you see coming out of the Marshall stand there on the inside of turn number 8. The yellows are flying in that corner. Field now behind our pace car, the Honda Civic Type R.
And he is climbing out of the race car. So unfortunately, looks like the car is disabled. The inside of driver's left at 8 at the bottom of the hill at Hurry Downs. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, tough one for him again, wanting to bounce back after the issues here on the weekend. Again, pacing our field is the beautiful Honda Civic Type R pace car, the most powerful Honda production vehicle ever sold in the U.S. with a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder engine producing an incredible 315 horsepower. The smooth and precise 6-speed manual transmission features a revised rev match system, helping to maintain stability on corner entry, and a limited slip differential puts the engine's power to the pavement effectively. The Civic Type R leverages Honda's racetrack-proven engineering to deliver extreme performance and passion, both on the road and on the racetrack. Excited to have that Honda Type R up front. We need a car that quick to be able to stay in front of our guys here when they're rolling around here on caution laps, and of course then jump it on the throttle to get away when we're ready to go back to green flag racing. Let me give you a full field rundown, because it seems to me like we're probably going to be down to just 16 drivers. We knew an issue for Costello. We saw that Sebastian Manson came into the pit, so that would leave us with 16 drivers. Garcia is your leader. That gap that he had, 2.5 seconds, disappeared. Max Taylor will be on the gearbox when we come back up the hill. He'll be in second. Matt Clark third. Jacob Douglas and Frankie Mossman fourth and fifth. A great launch here as well for Logan Adams. Started ninth. He's up into the sixth spot. Joey Brienza in seventh. Nicholas Montiero eighth. Ariel Elkin and Alessandro DeTulio, who started 16th and 18th respectively, are now 9th and 10th. They have made up big ground already. Cooper Becklin and George Garciarci 11th and 12th. Joseph Loke 13th. Tyke Durst 14th. Carson Eddard and Charles Finelli, the final two drivers who continue to circulate the field. Eric, let's say this. DeTulio and Elkin pushed hard, worked themselves up into the top 10. This yellow is absolutely perfect for them.
Well, this is really going to help, honestly, Matt Clark.
As well, yeah.
You know, with having a fresh set of tires. And I want to correct myself earlier, but Max Taylor was the one we saw some brake lockup earlier out of going into turn 5. But having Matt Clark settle into the 3rd spot here, we know that he was on fresh tires to start this race after starting on the scuffs in race 1. Mac needed Garcia to go through another heat cycle maybe with those older tires and maybe get him back into a position where he can get a tow and get a good jump into turn 1.
Well, and how are his tires going to be at the end? Going to scuff set of tires for Garcia. How are they going to be? How are they going to be at the end of this? We are going to go green flag next time by. Not surprisingly, they got the car Costello out of the way. So indeed, a couple of different teams up in there as well. Pabst, VRD exclusive with Garcia, Taylor, and Clark. All 3 of these drivers, no stranger to winning races. And excited to get at it here. This is again going to press the reset button. Clark, as we said, started with the fresh tires. I don't know whether or not there was contact coming out down into turn number 5. We saw him run the outside, but eventually go from 2nd back to 4th. So I'm thinking either contact or potentially he was run off the track where he had to get himself back on. We didn't get a chance to see that based on the 2nd camera angle that we picked up on. So he's got the shot, but still I think this is massive for Ariel Elkin and Cooper Beck, and I think you can't discount working that far forward over, what do we have, the first, how many laps do we get in? 3 laps, and those guys were able to work themselves up there. That, I'm telling you, that is big stuff out of those drivers there, and both of them 100% thinking recovery as well. Eric, piece out on the racetrack there.
Almost looks like a side pod.
So they're saying potentially someone's lost the side pod out of the car. AMR IndyCar safety team is going to bolt up there and get that quickly.
Well, it says that Manson is back on the racetrack. He would be the only one that went into pit lane, potentially if they were working on something underneath one of the bonnets.
Oh, that's a possibility.
That would be a logical choice.
We'll see whether or not, I don't know that he's back out on the racetrack as of yet. We'll see how it plays out. Remember, race number 1, Garcia, Clark, and Douglas on the podium. DeTulio started 5th, ended 4th. He's already to the top 10. And remember that big run as well for Ariel Elkin. Started 17th, got to 7th, so plus 10 for him. And again, we already know that he is working his way up the order now as he started in the 16th spot. He's up to 9th, so he's already plus 7. So we're digging here right now to try to see who can get themselves forward. 4 laps in, we're going to go back to green flag when they come back around. So it'll be 5 down, 10 laps remaining in the 2nd race of the triple header for USF Pro 2000. And Max Garcia has not finished outside the top 4 yet this year. Started the season with 5 straight podium finishes, and then of course off the podium in IMS in 4th. Came back out of the podium again in the middle race, 4th in race number 3, and then 4th on the oval and the Freedom 90 at the Carbonite Classic at IRP. So it's just been an incredible run. Of course, a win in the opening run of the triple header here. Max Garcia trying to do exactly what Lockie Hughes did last year. Come into Road America, sweep the weekend, and have that momentum rolling through Mid-Ohio, Toronto, and into Portland. But again, this is a place right now where the lead is always tough. Be expecting some kind of a challenge from either Taylor or Clark as we get underway here. The run from the, of course, on the power for the restarts coming out of turn number 14. They'll punch off, but that long run down, if they're able to work together at all, we may see a challenge for the lead in 1. Green flag flying to start finish. We're back at it again. Lap 5 will go in the books here when they cross start finish. Here's the big run down the straightaway. What kind of a jump do we have? Look at this, 3 wide. 3 wide. Jacob Douglas going to come to the side as well, but the big run could come from Max Taylor. He's the guy that's getting the draft from the back. He's right there with them. Douglas is going to try to go all the way around the outside. Hold on, coming out of turn number 1.
Douglas is there.
He's there alongside. Does he outgut him down into turn number 3? No, but he'll take 2 spots. Fantastic start for Jacob Douglas. Big run up on Clark, then got the big run, popped all the way out, and went side by side. This is the opportunity. Remember, that's his teammate right in front of him here. Douglas needs a race win if he's trying to win a title. He better send it down the inside here, try to go around the outside. He does go around the outside. Watch for a hard breaker. Around the outside, Garcia to the inside. They're going to go side by side through the corner. Big move further back as well, as I believe one of the turn 3 cars is in there. Yeah, dust up coming up the hill. Not quite happening. Mossman going to go to the inside. That is Elkin. Ariel Elkin up battling through the top 5. He goes to P5. Elkin from 9th to 5th in 7 corners. Eric, this kid's on a tear.
We were looking for him to make some speed, and with those electrical problems throughout the qualifying sessions, just couldn't find it. But they definitely found it in race 1, the way that he progressively moved through the field, taking advantage of those yellow situations, trying to bank points and try to get further up in the field. Elkin right now, Gotta say, this is probably one of the best drives of the day.
Well, listen, we talk about Elkin being the hottest driver in the month of May. Won 2 of the 3 races in Indianapolis, then went to a place where TJ Speed wasn't expecting to get the victory. The Oval at Indianapolis Raceway Park. They came away with a win there. Ariel was up on the wheel all night long. 3 of the 4 wins in the month of May, and is now, despite starting at the tail of the field, working his way up to the knocking on the door of a potential podium finish. This is absolutely unbelievable for him. Max Garcia doing a great job, though, to be able to fend off the challenges of his teammate there. I really thought Jacob Douglas would throw everything at it so he would not finish in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th spot. He needs a win if he wants to get back into the championship contention. We talked about that. It's really, to be honest, 4 drivers left in this championship fight. But, you know, Augie Pabst will tell you at Pabst Racing, do not wreck my cars. If you're running 1-2, I want a Pabst 1-2. So don't make that mistake. There comes Clark back again on Taylor. Matt Clark goes back into P3.
And we still continue at the back of the field just like we did in round 1. The turn 3 cars can't seem to get rid of each other, battling side by side into turn 1 before as well.
Yeah, I believe that was very likely Nicholas Montiero and Cooper Becklin side by side there. Good run there, and hey, now the battle for Max Taylor is having to scrap it out here with Ariel Elkin. Elkin to the outside. Let's see what Ariel can do. Oh, he gets a better run. He might clear him coming down to the braking zone. No, Taylor's going to send it down the bottom. Here comes the big over-under. Pinch it down the bottom. Let's see what happens coming back up the hill. I think Elkin's going to get him. He does. Top of the hill, blind turn in, book it. He's through. Ariel Elkin goes to P4. Great stuff, Eric.
And Mossman knocking on the door as well.
Man, I'll tell you, Ariel Elkin, if you want to have some momentum through the middle of the season, get it done. He is flying right now.
Look who's in 7th as well. Alessandro DiTullio started dead last in this field, and he himself, along with Ariel Elkin, working through traffic and using the advantage of the restarts.
Yeah, again, and sending it into the braking zones, right? Getting it done. The amount of speed that Elkin was able to carry through turn number 3, got that huge run on Taylor, and was able to make that pass down in to turn number 5. And able to turn in fact, with Taylor sending it, does the over-under. Beautifully executed maneuver there to get back up the inside coming to turn number 6. So you can't say enough about Ariel Elkin right now. He is putting on a show here, and he knows he's doing it in front of the Indy Next team owners, the IndyCar team owners. He wants to show that even if he's facing some adversity coming from the tail of the field, he's going to get a chance to come up and put on a show. He is right there now, as we said. So it's Garcia, Douglas, Clark, Elkin, Taylor, then Mossman. Mossman's right there, DiTullio right behind him, and right behind DiTullio, I believe, is Joseph Loke, who was outside the top 10 and has been able to get by, I think, Logan Adams. Loke, I believe, up into the 8th spot now.
Loke was all the way back to 15th at one point.
I thought, yeah.
Yeah, he had dropped all the way back to about 15th. I don't know if he may have been one of the cars that had a bailout at the kink when we saw those turn 3 cars kind of get side by side going to the kink. I don't know if he just kind of backed out and lost that momentum on the way to Canada Corner and kind of got swallowed up by the rest of the field. But he's done a nice job working his way back through.
Yeah, Mossman, I think, maybe just slipped by Max Taylor there as well, so Mossman could now be up into the 5th spot. Garcia, Douglas, Clark, Elkin, and I believe now Mossman as they come down into turn number 5. Garcia with the fast lap of the race right now. Still early on, only 7 laps in. We'll be halfway this next time by. 8 down, 7 remaining, and these cars very normally, as they get lighter through the end of a 15-lap race, are going to turn that fast lap. These Continental tires will hold their grip levels through to the end of the race, so look for a fast lap to come, Eric, when the cars are pretty light on fuel as well. They're going to love the weight. The grip's still there. The aerodynamics are still there. But it is a hot day, as we know. 91 degrees trackside, a 15-lapper for these drivers. Good training for them to move up to Indy next, because they're going to have to battle in tough conditions like this.
Well, one of the things that we know that Max Garcia is on the little bit more scuffed rubber to start this race, but the advantage of being at the front of the field is you've got a full set of aero washing over those wings, and you don't have to necessarily rely on popping out or making a little bit more aggressive turn in. You can very gingerly follow the car, work the car as what the car is giving you at that particular time, where we know Matt Clark should have a tire advantage here, but he's been mired in traffic. He's been under contest for much of this race. is he abusing those front tires, having to make an early turn in, late turn in, going offline? So the advantage that he may have had at the very outset of this race may not come to show until the final lap or two here. But right now, Max Garcia is doing a great job managing those used tires.
Yeah, just stretching away more and more. It was over a second this last time by.
Eder into the grass off of 14.
Did he get back on?
Back on, it looks like.
Okay, a little off-track action there for Carson Eder. 1.7 seconds. Garcia just smoked Douglas's time. A 2:03.6 to a 2:03.7. He pulled out 0.7 of a second on the field on that lap. Wow. And indeed, Clark and Elkin both quicker than Douglas on the last lap as well, so we may have that battle shaping up for P2. But the bottom line is Garcia is an absolute rocket right now. Scuffed tires, new tires, doesn't seem to matter right now for the driver out of Florida.
Well, and he's been, pardon the parlance or the cliche, he's been firing on all cylinders all season long. Did last year as well. He's just been Mr. Consistent this season.
Again, like I said, I'm not sure if I got the right lap count correctly, but he didn't miss a lap. He's the only driver last year in USF2000 to complete every lap on the season, not surprisingly, taking that consistency all the way to the bank, coming home as the champion. He hasn't missed a lap this year either, which is ridiculous to me that he's been able to go that long. He has not been out of the top 4 all year long, just banging out these results, and you keep doing that, you're going to be able to clinch this title early. If you go into Portland, with enough of a lead that nobody can get you, you're rocking this thing in Toronto. So we haven't had that yet to see a driver get that far ahead, but Garcia's out to a fantastic lead. I wouldn't throw it out there because guys like Matt Clark starting to get into their place, Jacob Douglas, Ariel Elkin all starting to get into their groove right now. We still got lots of racing before it's all said and done.
Speaking of Elkin.
P4?
P4.
Yeah, great run here for Ariel Elkin. He is making it happen here right now. We are past the halfway point. 8 laps down. In fact, it'll be 9 down when they come back through. Pick up some of the battles there. A little further back, that second group there was Frankie Mossman. He was able to get by Max Taylor. So Mossman's now up into 5th. Taylor 6th. DeTulio 7th. Loke, Adams, and Brienza round out the top 10. So there's the gap between 1st and 2nd. Ariel Elkin still pushing to try to see if he can't close up here and get that draft on Matt Clark. Clark trying to do the same thing to Jacob Douglas as they come across the line. Pretty equidistant between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Yeah, maybe a half a second Clark behind Douglas, 0.3 of a second Elkin behind Clark. No one able to make any moves coming down the straightaway. Everybody essentially, you can see the gap between each of them. No one's close enough to get that draft, to get that run. Still watching the fight here. We're going to watch lap times as well. Douglas a bit quicker than Clark on that last lap, and Elkin a bit quicker than Clark as well. So Elkin closed up a bit, but he's
got a car off in 5, I believe.
So a potential issue in turn number 5. Our spotter's picking up a driver there on the exit of the corner.
Looks like he's tucked behind the barrier enough that if they can get him out of the car, that would be considered part of the race course. It is a local yellow currently.
We'll try to see if we can't pick up a number here for you, folks, but the driver has come across the racetrack and is actually parked in a safe position at this point here. So at this point, not able to see the number for you. The camera angles that we have are not helping us out at all, so we're going to have to just simply rely on the order or us picking up something on the racetrack in terms of who we don't see. Field streaming through. Top 10 looks good. Behind them, Monteiro and Becklin in 11th and 12th, so maybe one of the drivers a little bit further back here. Garcia's lead 1.8 seconds. Wasn't able to get that massive gap like he did before, but man, 0.7 up that one lap on Douglas. And I don't know whether or not Jacob might have just made a little mistake there, whatever happened, but the bottom line is it's still 1.8 seconds. It's Garcia trying to go for yet another win. It would be his 4th win of the year. 1 at St. Petersburg, 1 at NOLA, and of course, potentially 2 here at Road America if he's able to bag another one. And he has one more shot at it tomorrow morning as well. Frankie Mossman, a good job putting all that pressure on Max Taylor, able to slip by there as well. When they come back to start-finish, we'll line you up here. We'll find out what driver's falling down the order. I wonder whether or not it might have been Sebastian Manson, only because he's the driver that had some technical issues early, and you wonder whether or not it just happened again. They brought him into pit lane. They tried to repair the car. If they were not able to, there's a good possibility that was just him once again. So we're going to do our best to see whether or not they fall down there. Yeah, it's going to be Sebastian Manson, I think, folks, who's falling down the order here. So indeed, some kind of an issue. They brought it into pit lane. And tried to fix it, came back out. Whatever the issue is, remember some mechanical issues, some electrical issues for Elkin, potentially just thinking possibly the same for Sebastian Manson here. Thankfully, he'll have another chance to get back on the racetrack tomorrow and dig in here on race number 3 at Road America before they all turn their eyes to the 4th of July weekend at Mid-Ohio. Max Taylor just turned his fastest lap and has got back by Frankie Mossman. So we're not done yet for that position there, P5. Max Taylor able to get back in it again. We are digging 5th all the way, essentially back to 12th actually, because Monteiro and Becklin 11th and 12th are right there with Brienza as well. They've not let him pull away at all, but they are battling themselves. There's Carson Eder recovering. Oh, driver's gone off top of the hill. I think that was one of the turn 3 cars. That battle we were watching just as we cycled back and they changed the screen. One driver went off track. So that may have been Becklin. Oh, I only say that because Becklin was a driver on the outside that was potentially trying to get the run around the outside. Maybe some contact there. We don't want to jump the gun to tell you who it was. Turn 3 cars were running 7th and 8th with Tulio and Loke, and 11th and 12th with Monteiro and Becklin. Being told that Sebastian Manson, able to refire it, has got himself back into pit lane. So the mechanical woes of the Kiwi Sebastian Manson continuing. 9 laps down, 6 laps remaining. 10 down, 5 to go. And we've got some battles kind of shaping up here now. Remember, Eric talked a lot about tire fall off. You can see right now that Clark is closing up a little bit here. If Clark's new tires are going to pay off, he would have liked them, I'm sure, would have liked them to have the payoff early. But right now, those tires may be what he needs to potentially go back and attack on Jacob Douglas.
If history tells us anything, it's usually with about 3 to 2 laps to go where we really start to see that tire completely start that deg fall off, really kind of show up. And then with the tire advantage, that's usually the last 2 laps is when we start to see a lot of that kind of pick up. So Matt Clark, he's got to be within distance here. 2.7 seconds the gap back to your leader, Max Garcia, sitting in that 3rd spot behind Douglas.
Eric, again, fuel load going down, burning it through. The drivers that turned their fast lap here in this last lap: Garcia, Douglas, Clark, Taylor, Brienza, Eder, Garcia Arce, all turning their fastest laps on lap number 11. You talk about, there's the balance. Oh, big move to the bottom of the racetrack there. Again, those are those turn 3 cars dicing it out here. That is DeTulio and Mossman. DeTulio just set it up the inside of Mossman. Not enough. And look who's right in there to fight as well, Logan Adams. Logan Adams has got the elbows up. Single car effort for Comet Racing, Newcastle Motorsports Park. Another driver, Carson Eder, off the racetrack. He had worked his way up into, I believe, 12th. Eder 12th, overcooks it coming up the hill. He'll go to the grass and he'll drop behind Monteiro and Garcia Arce. So everybody out there pushing as hard as they can. Eder had just turned his fastest lap. Just a little miscue coming up the top of the hill. Not the the hardest thing to do, rather, because I'm telling you, that blind corner, you are trusting your turn-in. You can't see the apex. You're getting up there, you're believing the turn-in is correct, and then all of a sudden you're on top of it. It's incredible corner driving, but so tough at this level.
And one of the other things that when you're tucked up behind somebody's gearbox as well, you can very easily misjudge their speed on corner exit as well. So if they miss the corner, you end up missing the corner, and it's real easy to find yourself on the outside into the grass, just trying to have a clear avoidance in some cases.
Ariel Elkin, who was putting a lot of pressure on Matt Clark there for a time, has faded away a little bit. The gap now almost a full second. Clark this time by 0.2 faster than Jacob Douglas. In fact, that was last lap. This lap he actually lost about 1/10. The gap right now just over a half a second. Douglas back to Clark. So again, these are the same guys that we saw on the podium in race number 1. And only different order is 2nd and 3rd. Douglas is up to 2nd. Clark now in 3rd. Clark looking to keep a solid run of results coming as well. If you look at Clark from Indianapolis through Road America right now, every finish inside the top 5, it would be 4 of 5 on the podium. Matt Clark really coming into his own here with exclusive Autosport. He is dialing things in at the second half of the season. Does he have anything right now for Max Garcia? No, but they are putting it down when they need to stack the points up, to drop the guys off the back of the peloton. P6 in the championship, P5. Let's get it down to a 4-driver race, a 3-driver race. That way you never know what happens. You want to be digging all the time, try to stack those points. There's the drivers coming through there. DeTulio and Mossman, 6th and 7th. 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, right there. Loke, Adams, Brienza, and Becklin. Becklin, the driver, obviously was able to get through. I thought it might have been him. No, it was Nicholas Monteiro who went off in turn 6 the first time, and then it was Carson Etter. Etter back to 14th, having moved his way up into 12th. So 3 laps remaining here for the drivers in USF Pro 2000. They'll do it all again tomorrow morning, all part of this Elite Engines Grand Prix of Road America. Looking to cap things off. USF 2000 drivers getting ready to go as well. As we know, Command to Fire engines there about 20 minutes from now. So we get this race finished. We'll head down to Victory Lane, wrap that up. We'll throw it back up to Eric here in the booth. We're looking to fire things up with driver introduction, and of course the 5:15 command to fire up the drivers in USF 2000. Back-to-back USF Pro races for you here. Had a fantastic turnout at the autograph session earlier today. Thank you so much for all of you race fans who came to meet our young drivers. It was a great turnout of fans. A lot of fun.
Saw you kind of emceeing the autograph session, having fun with some of the fans out there.
We had a little bit of fun there, yeah. But with a bunch of go-kart racers that were there. I love seeing the go-karters there who are saying, hey, I'm in go-karting. I want to be these guys now, right? And then move their way up to IndyCar. So it's nice to have a bunch of karters who run over at Badger Kart Club in Dousman, who race here, of course, at the Briggs and Stratton Motorplex as well. I love that. That's where it all starts in karting, folks. Start karting, learn there, learn all the ins and outs, all the racecraft, and then work your way up through some racing schools, get yourself into the USF Juniors program. Maybe one day you'll be racing here at America's National Park and Speed like all these ex and current go-kart racers who still get behind the wheel whenever they can. I like that battle still for second spot. I don't know that it's done yet. Jacob Douglas versus Matt Clark. Last time by, almost identical lap times. We'll see if Clark's fresher rubber have anything for Douglas over the last bit of laps here. There's Max Taylor. He currently runs in 5th spot. This is 6th and 7th. DeTulio and Mossman. Loke in 8th. Adams now back to 9th. Logan Adams trying to hold on to another top 10 finish. White flag will fly next time by. There'll be 1 to go for Max Garcia as he tries to put down race win number 4 and stretch his point lead over Ariel Elkin. In fact, it could that we could see a change with the drivers who actually sit in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. That's the key thing right now in terms of the standings here. We know it's a big 60-point lead right now, but Elkin's only got 2 points on DeTulio, and Clark's only 5 points behind Elkin. So there's an opportunity for Clark almost to move up into 2nd spot in the points here as well. So lots going on in terms of the championship standings, although out front, as we said, Max Garcia making it look easy. 2 seconds the advantage now. He has fast lap of the race, qualified on pole. He is lining up for another 33-point haul. White flag for Garcia, the Pabst Racing driver, as they come back up the hill. Douglas, the Kiwi, runs in 2nd. It's USA, New Zealand, Canada, and Israel. 1, 2, 3, 4. White flag from Aaron Likens, final lap. Does Matt Clark have anything for Douglas? Do you send it here, or do you know that Douglas really not in the championship chase? You're going to slowly get to drop him. He's P5 of the championship coming in, I believe, and after this race, indeed, Douglas with 163 markers. He is 36 points behind Clark coming in. He's got room to make it happen. Clark very likely want to keep digging. Don't make any mistakes. Don't throw anything away here. A P3, another podium would be fantastic for the young Canadian.
Garcia 2:03, 62.27. Douglas a 3:59.1 and a 3:65 for Matt Clark.
Eric, I know that I'm going to bail out of here as soon as this thing wrapped up to get down there so we can get the podium presentation rolling. But when I'm gone and you do the full field rundown, make sure you give the props to Ariel Elkin and Alessandro DeTulio. Come on. They started back in 16th and 18th respectively, and they have got themselves up right now into 4th and 6th. What absolutely spectacular recoveries to get themselves back up into really solid points-paying positions.
Absolutely.
Final lap for the drivers here in USF Pro 2000. USF 2000 drivers climbing behind the wheel of their race cars right now on the pre-grid. They'll be rolling out here momentarily to get things underway for the back end of their doubleheader. Believe that JT Hoskins was on his way to the track here. The driver was involved in that really tough incident down in the Kettle Bottoms coming through the kink in practice yesterday. Many of you have seen the video online. They spent the night overnight in the hospital in Milwaukee. Obviously a concussion for sure after just a nasty wreck and potentially a bruised and battered right leg. But man, I'll tell you, if he's here trackside, it'd be fantastic to see him. That was a shunt for sure. One of the worst I've seen in the 15 years I've been announcing this USF Pro 2000 program. And here comes the winner, though, folks. Out of the final corner, another absolutely tremendous race. Call it back-to-back jacks here at Road America. Max Garcia wins again. Garcia victorious. The margin of victory, 2.4 seconds over Jacob Douglas. He pulls a little bit on Matt Clark, who ends up in third. Ariel Elkin fourth. Max Taylor rounding out the top 5. DeTulio, Mossman, Loke, Adams, and Brienza, the top 10. Eric, that was a heck of a race. There was lots of good battles throughout there. We saw guys fight forward. Obviously, Elkin and DeTulio putting on a masterclass, working their way from the tail of the field. Super aggressive on the opening couple of laps. Benefited by that early caution for Costello to be able to close back up on the field. But again, Max Garcia, 4 wins, more laps. He's seen every checker last year. He saw every checker this year so far as well. What a run here for Max Garcia.
You got to start wondering if he starts opening up the center of that vest and he's got a Superman shirt on underneath that, because Max Garcia has done an incredible job the last 2 seasons, just putting down just a consistent finish and nothing really but podiums.
I'm heading to victory lane right now. Here's the full field rundown. Eric will give you that.
Absolutely. Max Garcia, winner of round 1 and now round 2 here at Road America for Pabst Racing. 2 steps on the podium, the 19 of Jacob Douglas and Matt Clark, the 3rd step on the podium for Exclusive Autosport. And starting 16th on the grid. 16th on the grid, Ariel Elkin in the 27, just 1 spot shy of the podium for TJ Speed Motorsports, but Ariel Elkin, just an amazing, incredible drive, smooth, consistent, used the restarts very eloquently in driving that number 27 machine back towards the front, maximizing what could have been a really bad points weekend after just having a horrible qualifying gremlins throughout both first and second round of qualifying. Max Taylor in 5th on the 88 machine for VRD Racing. Turn 3 Motorsports entry of Alessandro DeTulio started 18th in the field, followed Elkin through the field, back and forth, and DeTulio, again, a nice points pickup day, turning that weight penalty from round 1 into something to at least build on for finishing in the 6th position here in race number 2. Frankie Mossman started 6th, will end up 7th. Joseph Loke, the end of the story has him finishing in the 8th spot, right where he started in 5th spot. But that's not his story of the day either. Loke had dropped all the way back to 15th at one point and raced his way back through the field, capitalized on the mid-race restart as well. As Logan Adams started deep in the field as well. And Logan Adams going to come up with a 9th place finish. Joey Brienza 10th. Cooper Becklin will finish in the 11th spot. Nicholas Monterio 12th. George Garciarce in the 13th position. Carson Eder will finish 14th. Tyke Durst, Charles Finelli, and Sebastian Manson ends his race on pit lane for TJ Speed. And Pabst Racing's Michael Costello. The disaster of a weekend continues, unfortunately, for that young man, finishing 18th. And there you see Max Garcia pulling the helmet and the head and neck restraint system and the earbuds out. Got to think that as hot as it is on this Saturday afternoon, the grin going to be worth it for Pabst Racing. Augie Pabst, top 2 steps in the podium here in race 2. Back-to-back jacks, as Rob would say. But this USF Pro 2000 championship continues. Mr. Consistency here, grabbing a swig of water. But those used Continentals he started the race on lasted the entire race, and still the fastest lap of the weekend in race 2 on those used tires. Big celebration there, but how about that? Max Garcia for Pabst Racing with the scholarship paint job on that machine as well. And of course, Pabst Racing based out of Oconomowoc right here in Wisconsin. USF 2000 race up next, but before we can get racing again, we're going to celebrate with Rob Howden and the cars and stars of this USF Pro 2000 championship presented by Continental Tires. But a big race weekend, race 3 tomorrow morning, bright and early at 7:55 tomorrow morning here from America's National Park of Speed as well. The final race of USF 2000 up next, coming up in about 20 minutes or so from right now at 5:20. But drivers getting set for podium celebrations down in the Road America Victory Lane. Of course, another huge day up ahead for your race day Sunday, yet to come. But the best part about these race wins, of course, are the celebrations. And it's hard not to call them youngsters, relative age for many of us out here. But these young drivers are very adept in adapting quickly into multiple different conditions. We've had in the wet, in the dry, in the cool, in wind, and of course battling not just the racetrack and themselves, but the heat today. Heat index over 95, towards 97 degrees today. It's 89 degrees right now. It's cooled off a little bit, if you want to call 2 degrees a little bit. Tomorrow, well over 100 degree heat index for the NTT IndyCar Expel Grand Prix tomorrow here at Road America. But again, podium celebrations forthcoming with Rob Howden. Sending it down to Rob Howden in Road America's Victory Lane with the USF Pro 2000 Championship.
Eric, thank you so much down here in Victory Lane, and it may take a couple of minutes, to be honest, before we're able to roll it here with Victory Lane. Max Garcia, the winner, coming into pit lane here. He is absolutely tore up, trying to get some water into him right now. It is unbelievably warm. I had a chance to talk to Matt Clark and Jacob Douglas a little bit, and they are telling me it is unbelievably hot out there. Dehydrated for sure for Max Garcia. He's trying to get some cold water into him right now. They're trying to cool him down, doing their best they can to see if we can't get Max Garcia up here onto the podium at one point. That's how rough it was out there for those 15 laps in the blazing heat. Again, they're doing the best they can to get him where he needs to be. He's getting some more water. I see he's perking up a little bit over there. That's a tough one for sure for Matt Clark. We have Max Garcia. We have our other two drivers here as well. Just doing the best we can to get Max fired up and ready to go. Again, this is what it's all about. We talk about it, folks, how tough it is at this level of competition. When temperatures like this, you're in that race car, unbelievably hot, as we know. It's going to be tough for those IndyCar drivers and Indy Next drivers tomorrow as well. That's a precursor of what you're going to see of the difficulty it is to run in these kind of conditions at a racetrack like we have here. Just waiting for the call that we've got everybody set to go. We're about 9 minutes away from the command to fire engines. I think we've got everybody potentially up here right now, just waiting for the call that we're good to go. I think we are. So, folks, let's get things underway with the podium presentation for the drivers in the USF Pro 2000 category in the Elite Engines Grand Prix of Road America. Finishing in third place today from Exclusive Autosport, Mac Clark. Logan Knapp will bring that trophy as the USF 2000 drivers leave the grid right now, the pre-grid to get up there right now. Matt Clark, another podium finish. The string of podiums he has got rolling here. Unbelievable run here for Matt Clark. Finishing in second position, back on the podium again with the Paps Racing 1-2. Jacob Douglas coming home P2. Michael Knapp will bring that second place trophy in for Jacob Douglas. He's working his way across the podium here from third to second. Maybe a win tomorrow morning for the Kiwi for Paps Racing. But again, the driver coming home with yet another victory here, extending that point lead. But you saw how tough it was for him to get up here. It was a grueling race for sure, but he comes away as the victor for Paps Racing. Winner of race 2, Max Garcia! Well, Max, how hard was it, man? I saw you needed to take a lot of water there, cool down a bit. That was a tough race.
Yeah, it was super tough, physically and mentally. Those last couple of laps, I was just trying to stay within myself and keep it on the track, really. But no, I can't thank the Paps Racing crew enough. This car's just been absolutely insane to drive.
Any surprise with the racetrack after qualifying for IndyCar?
Not really. It's kind of what we expect everywhere we go when IndyCar lays rubber down.
One more race tomorrow morning. Can you get it done?
I'm sure we can.
I love that. The confidence is there. One more time. Round of applause. Max Garcia. Let's bring that trophy in. Becca Potke from Elite Engines bringing the P1 in. He's stacking him up, fourth win of the season. This kid has not finished a race. Every lap last year, every lap so far this year. Unbelievable consistency. Fourth win on the season. Worst finish so far this year. A fourth And he goes back-to-back jacks here today. 2 wins on a weekend, 1 more still to go to see if he can do the triple at Road America, matching what Lockie Hughes was able to do last year. All these young drivers getting an opportunity, of course, to get themselves hydrated up for tomorrow, because we got to do it all again tomorrow morning. It's going to be even warmer. So even those of you around the racetrack as well, please take heed for what the drivers are dealing with right now. Make sure you get hydrated as well. We want to make sure you have the best fan experience here at Road America. Just getting things dialed in here to wrap up from our podium presentation. Champagne, of course, waiting in the wings. We've got the winter hats coming. We're right now about 6 minutes away from the command to fire engines. We'll have one of our guests from Elite Engines up here to do that. We'll be right on time, I believe, with that. There you go. Champagne, as I said, waiting in the wings. Final hat here, the Elite Engines first, second, and third place hats here at Road America. The Elite Engines Grand Prix of Road America. Every one of the engines you see in the USF Pro Championships, all built and tuned up in West Bend, Wisconsin by the Knapp family at Elite Engines. They do a tremendous job for us, and of course, home race, home state here at Road America. All right, let's bring that champagne in. Time to fire things up. The team, if you want to come in and grab that race car, you can do it. Pabst Racing guys, roll in there unless you want to be wiping champagne off the thing. I don't know that they're going to be spraying each other. They'll probably save that for tomorrow. Let's get that race car out of the way. All right, guys, car's out of the way. Let's fire things up. Spray the champagne. Grip it and rip it. Race 2 for USF Pro 2000. Oh, they're going after Augie Pabst. They got him pretty good. Yeah, Jacob Douglas got in the draft on that one. Full slipstream. Garcia's going after him, too. And that's only race number 2. Goodness. All right, folks, that wraps things up here. 5 minutes away from the command to fire things up for USF 2000. Eric Miller, I'll send it back up there to you, my friend. I'll be back momentarily. 5 minutes away from the command.
Thank you, Rob. Great job down at the podium celebration here. USF Pro 2000, presented by Continental Tires, part of the USF Pro Championships. We've had a great race weekend so far. And waiting to go to USF 2000 next on the docket here at America's National Park of Speed, Road America. The race fans, our final race of the afternoon here, the USF 2000, round number 2, the final round for this championship, presented by Continental Tires here at Road America, part of the Expel Grand Prix weekend. Take a look at our starting grid for USF 2000. In the back row, JT Hoskins, of course, not going to start after that incident in Kettle Bottoms. Hopefully he's back at the racetrack if he was released and at least back to the track watching today. Thomas Norquist scheduled to go in the 21st starting position. In row number 10, it is Ryan Gianetta, the 99 machine, and Kaylee Kutcherman will start inside in the 19th position. In row 9, Ryan Bossoff in the 67 machine, and Rodrigo Gonzalez in the 18 machine. In row number 8, Sebastian Garzon will start 16th, and the 15 of Patricio Gonzalez will start 15th. In row 7, it is Thomas Schrag will start 14th, and Ayrton Hauk will start in 13th in the number 58. In row number 6, it is Eddie Beswick in the 30. Timothy Carroll in the 8 will start 11th. G3 Argyros will start on the outside of row number 5, and Anthony Martello will start in the 9th position. In row number 4, Joshua Leonel in the 11 machine will start 8th, starting 7th, the 19 of Christian Cameron. In row 3, it is the 91 of Lucas Fakiri alongside Harley Keeble in the 7, starting 5th. In the final 2 rows, row number 2 here at Road America, Caleb Gaffrar in the 24 machine will start 4th. Evan Cooley will start, scheduled to start in the 90. And Teddy Masello will start 25th, and Jack Jeffers in the 92 will be your pole sitter here in the USF 2000, presented by Continental Tire. Of course, there's some interesting developments. We'll talk to Rob as we get this pace lap underway here shortly. Before we can do that, we'll wait for our engine start here at Road America. About a minute away from the command here for USF 2000. We've gone through the starting grid. Of course, there's been some developments that have happened as we're less than 45 seconds away from the command. Rob, of course, when we're talking about some changes for, of course, Evan Cooley and Jeffers at the front of the field.
Yeah, big one, of course. The incident happened to Jack Jeffers down there in turn number 1. We'll talk more about that as we get things ready to go. Standing now down on victory lane on the podium where we just vacated. It's time to get things underway, folks. The command to fire engines for the final race for USF 2000 on the weekend. The owner, president of Elite Engines, Mr. Steve Knapp.
On behalf of Anderson Promotions and Continental Tire and Elite Engines, drivers, start your engines.
There it is, folks, from the 1998 Indianapolis 500 Rookie of the Year. The man who, along with Logan Knapp, goes through every one of the motors that goes into the back of these race cars. And again, this is the Elite Engines Grand Prix of Road America. So indeed, as Eric went through the field here of the drivers getting set to go in this USF 2000 category, one of the storylines coming into the paddock, of course, was the incident happening with Jack Jeffers, the crash up at turn number 1, severely damaging the race car that he was set to roll out with here in race number 2. What are they going to do? They don't have a backup car here. They've got a couple of juniors drivers that have come up to be with them here this weekend. Talking with the team, young Brendan Cooley, who is a full-time USF juniors driver, the teammate, of course, this weekend to Jack Jeffers, elected to step out of his race car, pass it over to his teammate who's in the middle of a championship fight. I said, man, talk to the team, what a gesture. And they said, listen, Brendan came up here to do one thing, and that was to get into this event, feel what it was like to be in the USF 2000 car, be part of a USF 2000 event. And what does he do? He qualifies in the top 10, had a great run in the opening race before a couple of minor incidents. Check mark for him. Experience is what he needed to get done. He was able to achieve everything he set out for this weekend. And Brendan Cooley, shout out to you, fist bump, fantastic, as he makes sure that his teammate Jack Jeffers, who is, again, as we said, in the middle of a championship battle here right now with Thomas Schrag, that he is able to get back into a race car and out here right now. The current point lead, 35 markers for Thomas Schrag. He wins when Jeffers has the issue and finished last. Not the swing that Jeffers would have wanted, but a gesture by his teammate keeps him on the racetrack on the pole position and potentially with an opportunity to bounce right back. The wrinkle of this, the second level of the storyline, Eric, is the fact that he has not driven this race car yet. Yeah, they pull his race seat out of his car that was demolished, slide it into Brendan Cooley's car. He's not driven this race car yet.
It's foreign.
They all handle just a bit different. Maybe something's a little different on it. It's all about him trying to see what happens on the opening couple of laps. This is going to be Jack Jeffers drawing back on everything that he knows from this program. But again, great stuff. We'll end up watching Brendan Cooley back at it in a couple of weeks in USF Juniors as he has become a top 10 driver in that program. He'll be back in Mid-Ohio, sitting on the sidelines here today, watching his race car hopefully come home to victory lane.
You know, in that situation, being in a foreign car, every car has kind of that nuance. You know, it's no different than in a personal vehicle. You buy a personal car and you name it, and you know exactly what it's going to do when you turn a corner, and everything's going to be foreign. All the adjustments are the same. All the things that you have to work with are the same, but it just feels different. And that's going to be something that he's going to have to certainly pay attention to and make that adjustment in the race.
So let me give you the other level of the feel-good story. Brendan Cooley, of course, helping out his teammate Jack Jeffers. We talked about that horrific incident down in the kink for J.T. Hoskins, who eventually went to the hospital there. They had to extricate him out of the car, complaining of back pain, a concussion for sure. He's here right now, spent the night at Milwaukee, and not only is he here, he's on the pit wall right now with Brendan Cooley. They become fast friends in the USF Juniors category, so they literally just sent me a picture of those two guys together on the pit wall. So you can't ask for much more than that to have JT Hoskins back with us here after that nasty wreck. The worst wreck I've seen in USF 2000 in the 15, now 16 years I've been doing this. It was a harsh shunt for sure, but great to see JT back. Can't wait to say hello to him. I think they probably just got to the racetrack in the middle of the USF Pro race. So great to have the Hoskins family back here with us this weekend. We're about to go racing once again. Jefferson Masella on row number 1. Cooley and Gaffera on row number 2. Keeble, Fakuri, row 3. Cameron and Lionel, row 4. Martella and Argyros, row number 5. Field working their way again out of turn number 14. Time to go racing for the second time here in USF 2000 at Road America. Everybody into their positions, and we'll climb the hill. No longer the white machine for Jeffers. It's the black and red number 92. They'll fire things up coming into the start line, and we have it. Green, 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 racing down the front straightaway. Good jump there for Jack Jeffers, as he's going to lead him all the way through. Thomas Schrag, the point leader, all the way back in 14th after a tough run in qualifying. Here comes the run down into turn number 1. Jeffers looks like he's clean and mean through the corner, and I want to say his teammate Cooley right on the gearbox as well. They'll work their way out of turn number 1, coming back down the hill. I think Caleb Gaffera maybe pulled the trigger there as well. Gaffera may have gone into the lead. Look at Caleb Gaffera down to the inside. Book it. Gaffera up on the wheel as well from P4. He thought he had a podium finish in his hand in race number 1, but contact coming into turn number 1 sent him way off the racetrack and down the order. Elbows will be up here. First time down into turn number 5. Let's see if cooler heads prevail. Who is the leader coming down here now? Big brake lockup from Gaffera. I believe that's now Jeffers taking the lead again down into turn number 5. These guys are best friends as well. Jeffers and Gaffera scrapping it out there. Cooley slots his way now into the 3rd spot. I want to say one of the Jay Howard cars, likely Harley Keeble, has got himself up into P4. You can see the fighting further back all the way through 6, 7. We're going to go 2 by 2 a little defensive move to the inside. Christian Cameron coming across the bow of one of the drivers there as they came through and down into turn number 8. What do we like through the carousel, Eric? Looking pretty good here so far. Single file. Anybody trying that outside line? I don't know if I'd be doing it.
Few cars are about a half a step off the bottom line, just trying to open up the apex entry to make it a little bit easier on exit. And, a little bit of a defensive line, side-by-side nose to tail into the kink. Not where you want to do that.
No. That is not the move in the kink, to tuck the nose to the inside. If you're going to make a pass to the kink, you've got to get it done by the time you wait to get in there. So the guy on the outside knows what he's got to do to check up and bring it back down to the apex. That is not a corner where you're going to try to potentially tuck someone in the inside. Just a bad call overall. Got to get the job done there. It's got to be a decisive overtake in the kink, or think better of it and tuck back in and get that run down into Canada corner. All right, we'll give you the full field rundown when they come up the hill here right now. It'll be a big run, of course, down into turn number 1 as they roll across the line here. Live timing not updating for me, so nothing I can do for you now. Folks coming across the line, like we said, is Jack Jeffers as the leader. Evan Cooley running in the 2nd spot. Look at this fight further back. Oh my goodness, 2, almost 3 wide coming through turn number 1. Just hoping that they come over the crest cleanly. These guys are elbows up like crazy. USF Pro 2000 drivers doing another great job. If not for that little issue there for Costello, there would have been another green run. Guys finally starting to single out a little bit. Again, great start to the run here. Issues right now with giving you live timing. Hopefully we'll be able to get that to you soon, but just sit back and enjoy the pure racing here now, regardless of who they are on the track. We're trying to give you the lineup, but goodness, the battle is fantastic. There is G3 Argyros to the front of that next group. But look at these drivers further back, a bunch of the D-Force racers going at it. They brought a bunch of drivers up, 3 of them coming up from their USF Juniors program, both of the Gonzalez brothers and Thomas Nordqvist coming up to run as well. Exclusive Autosport brought up Brendan Cooley, who we've talked about, but also Kaylee Countryman. She's up here for her first taste of USF 2000. A number of young drivers coming up to try out this USF 2000 program.
And it's a great opportunity, a nice deep field this weekend. Obviously a lot of R's right next to 19 of the 22 drivers, but not everybody is going to be on that rookie level per se, as many of those drivers that have the rookie branding here 4 or 5 rounds in are now they're in it.
Yeah, they're on top of the game. Now, I will say this. The junior drivers that are here, it's not just to test the waters. We're coming back in late July for that Grid Life event that you have here at Road America. USF juniors by themselves for a triple header there. So a very crucial run. Hey, get a chance to learn this racetrack wheel to wheel. We've done a bunch of testing here already this year, but testing's one thing. Wheel to wheel, figuring out how to handle some of these corners when you're side by side as the driver has gone off and back on the racetrack, coming out of turn 13 over to turn 14. That might be Ryan Janetta in the number 99. We'll see as they come through. An issue for Caleb Gaffera. Remember, he was right up in the middle of the fight. He is all the way down now into the 17th spot, as is Harley Keeble. So a potential contact between Harley Keeble as these D-Force drivers go side by side into one. Lots of great racing outside the top 10 right now, but Gaffera and Keeble falling down the order. At this point here, no live timing for you folks. We apologize for that. Hopefully we'll get it updated as soon as possible. But again, the drivers out front continue to pull away. There's Jack Jeffers stretching away. Evan Cooley runs, I believe, in that second spot. Here's a big move a little bit further back as well. And I said Caleb Gaffera and Keeble, that was the issue I have with live timing, so they are still on the racetrack, so scratch that. Quickly look down at live timing. Thought it was back up, it was not. Just some issues here with live timing. I'm sure we've got the people working on that in the background, trying to dial things back in. There's Aaron Hout coming through the corner as well. Trying to get a better look at it when they come down here. As you know, folks, so many of these cars look very identical. Get some of the cars that actually do pop out a little bit. Obviously, the Benchmark Autosport machine stands out a little more than some of the other cars do, as do the Synergy Motorsports and Sarah Fisher Hartman Racing Development cars. Early running here right now in this USF2000 program. Thomas Schrag came in with a fantastic lead. Exactly what he wanted to happen, not at all what Jack Jeffers wanted to happen. Out early, finishing 22nd. Schrag goes on to the race win. He's starting a lot deeper in the field in this one, 15th. You know he'll be up on the wheel trying to scrap his way forward. And again, we'll do our best to try to give you some live time in the field. Streaming away up front, really starting to go single file a little bit here. We're 3 laps in. And in fact, it'll be a third of the distance, Eric, when we get back around again. Oh, driver's gone off! Driver off the outside of the racetrack here. That might have been Jack Jeffers. I think Jeffers off of the outside, overcooked turn 14. He's going to drop at least one spot. We talk about the fact how tough it is here. Indeed, Jeffers is going to go back, I think, into the 4th spot, and he's going to get challenged by Anthony Martella. Right across the line, Jeffers in that car he hasn't driven before. And listen, we talked about the little things being different. The biggest thing that they have to work to try to set up and to try to replicate from the old car, Eric, is that pedal position. If it's not exactly right, if they're not the same pedals, maybe you got a little bit of tape on there that the other driver didn't have. All it takes is to slip off a little bit, not understand the modulation of it, just it's in a different spot. That's all it takes. And coming through that corner, Eric, as you know, you're coming back out of 13, car weighted all the way to the right, transition back to a corner that already starts early. Doesn't take much to miss it and drive off. Very luckily didn't go into the gravel, but for Jack Jeffers, going to put his head down and dig his way back forward. Being told one driver in
Christian Cameron to pit lane.
Yeah, Christian Cameron for VRD Racing in the number 19 into pit lane right now. So indeed, a tough one there for Jack Jeffers. He was leading and had a pretty solid little advantage. He's going to have to put his head down and dig his way back forward again. Oh,
car
driver off.
6.
Yep, driver's got backwards into the gravel trap out of turn number 6, top of the hill. And that may be good for Jeffers. Is going to bring everybody back together again unless that driver can refire. Eric, I'm not certain of the surface over there. Is that gravel or is that actual pavement at that part of the runoff?
There is a little bit more pavement over there, but that is, I believe they were into the gravel at that point.
So we'll see whether or not we go full course yellow. The yellow flags are in the hands of Aaron Likens. Indeed, we will go full course yellow. And again, just hoping we can get live timing up here sooner or later. But a driver has gone off. Evan Cooley is the leader last time by. Teddy Masella was able to jump into second. Caleb Gaffera into the 3rd spot. In 4th was Jack Jeffers after that off in turn number 14. AMR IndyCar safety team on the scene. Harley Keeble in 5th. G3 Argiro 6th. Lucas Facuri runs in 7th. 8th was Anthony Martella. In the 9th spot, you've got Ayrton Haug, picked him up a couple times. 10th, Eddie Beswick in the Synergy Motorsports car. 11th, Joshua Leonel for D-Force Racing. So here they are all rolling through right now. We know we've had a couple of drivers who've had issues. Christian Cameron coming into pit lane. Tough one there for Jack Jeffers, indeed, trying to get a feel for it. Was it a pedal thing? I don't know. Just a little bit of a miscue coming through there. Schrag back in 16th, Bossoff 17th as they come across start-finish right now. Just having a look at the cars visually as they cross by us here, start-finish.
We're doing it the old-fashioned way. We're actually hand-scoring right now.
Right, pretty much, as the driver's working up here. The number 95 of Kaylee Countryman, I was trying to pick that up. Something weird on the car. The air inlet that comes into the intake has come apart, and it's actually popped up. So she's not getting the full line coming through. So indeed, we'll work off the timing that we're getting on our screens here right now to try to help you out here again. But yeah, Kaylee Countryman, that air intake on the left side of the car, that's popped up and open, so she's not going to get that forced air coming in through to the engine. So she'll lose a bit of horsepower there. Kaylee currently running, I believe, in the 20th spot. So indeed, yeah, they're telling her to come into pit lane. The crew is going to dive on that very quickly to try to see if they can't get a couple of screws into that to hold that down. So Kaylee Countryman's going to be set to pit lane to get that adjusted. Yeah, otherwise Jack Jeffers got off to a really good start here. Had that opening launch, was able to get out to a decent little lead. A minor miscue coming through 14 where you're really running the ragged edge to try to get back on power. Just a minor miscue there. Ended up going off the racetrack. Not all the way into the gravel, so very likely just kind of over the rumble, the runoff area and push back out. So the driver potentially off in turn number 6. We're being told Patricio Gonzalez, the D-Force Racing driver, off in turn number 6, top of the hill. And to me, it looked like just the way the attitude of the car, like somebody probably got into the back of him. It didn't look to be like one of those lazy spins where you lose the car coming in. The braking's already done as you've turned into the corner, Eric. Very likely someone plowing into the back there, starting that spin pretty quickly. Yeah,
and it doesn't take much up at turn 6, even if you get yourself onto the rumble strips.
Yep.
Or if you hit the curb on the inside at apex. If you turn too sharply in, you can very easily upset the balance of the car and spin it around.
Well, and there's the answer right there. He didn't make it to the wall, and he has damage. They're not able to roll that car, so someone got into the back of him and looped him around coming on to the top of 6. So, indeed, tough one for Patricio Gonzalez. So they'll go back on track in 2 weeks with USF Juniors at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for the IndyCar event there on the July 4th weekend. Very excited for that weekend. We were there for USF Juniors. Those drivers in the first dry race were able to go green to checker. An absolutely stellar race. If you want to pick up one of the races and you haven't seen it, go back and watch the first USF Juniors race at Mid-Ohio 2 weeks ago. The youngest drivers in our series put on a show, and I want to make sure that the Pro and 2000 drivers have a chance to see that video as well. The rain the next day, kind of more of almost a torrential down. It was a steady rain throughout the entire time. Not a downpour, but it was a steady rain. The young drivers had a little bit of issues here and there. Kind of went off track a little bit. Not surprising on that. But nonetheless, there's the car of Gonzalez there. Some kind of damage to that machine and off the track in turn number 6. That brings the yellow out. Means pace car lights are out, so we're going racing again. That'll be lap number 5, so call it 7 more laps to go. Evan Cooley, the leader. Masella 2nd. Gaffera 3rd. Keeble 4th. Jeffers 5th. Fakurian 6th spot. Argyros in 7th. Martella 8th. Beswick 9th. And Hauk in 10th. What does Jack Jeffers have to work his way back forward? Remember, the drivers in front of him have not yet won. Cooley, Masella, Gaffera, Keeble, all wanting that elusive first victory. It's Keeble's debut in USF2000, having only run the USF Juniors race at Mid-Ohio. But here's a driver who is a top FIA karter, a lot of international events as well. Keeble knows his way around racing. Just getting used to driving these cars at speed and wheel to wheel. But Keeble driver we expect to see hopefully in 2026 as well. On the power already for Evan Cooley, all up over the curb on the outside. We are going racing. One driver lost a little bit there. One of the Jay Howard cars overshot it. It might have been Martella. I think a little bit overshooting coming out of turn 14. That'll hurt the draft and the draw all the way up into turn number 1. Green flag flying again, back underway. 5 laps down, 7 to go. Here comes the run down into turn number 1. They'll work their way through into the corner. And I want to say that Masella may have drafted right by Cooley and brought him with him. I think Masella now into the lead. Yeah, he brought Gaffera with him. Sit and duck, folks. When you're a starter there, you do the best you can to roll your way up. Not much you can do. Kelly Countryman into pit lane to get that air intake repaired. But Masella now the leader. Gaffaro runs in second. Cooley right there with him. And then I believe that next run will be likely Jack Jefferson, I think, and he and Lucas Facuri may be going at it here with Harley Keeble. So watch the elbows come up here on the restart, coming down into turn number 5. Yeah, there's a move to the inside. Cooley gets to the inside to Gaffaro. We're 2 wide further back as well. Little dust up on the exit.
3 wide on the way up.
The big pinch to the inside, Eric. They try to defend each other coming up the hill to the inside of turn number 6. This is going to allow Teddy Masella to pull away a little bit here. Masella the leader. Cooley runs in second. Long way to go, as we'll only get to the halfway point this next time by 6 down, 6 to go. Jeffers back into the 4th spot. Keeble goes into 5th. Lucas Facuri right there at 6th. Oh, look at this battle further back. Janetta, Cameron, Nordquist, all battling it out at the tail of the field, trying to get that final spot to move their way forward.
Yeah, and this is a place in the race where now you're starting to see some cars at the back trying to work outside in the carousel, but we know that it's going to get a little slippery up there this late in the day. All the balls are rubber and the marbles, and as our good friend David Hobbs would say, clag out there. Obviously cars running offline as well, going to slip and slide around. Being careful here, but again, a couple of dives to the inside here in 12. It's a great passing opportunity, but right now, midway through this race, you really want to be patient and mind the 4 corners of the race car.
Yeah, I don't think that was an aggressive move, but I think it was a defensive move. Timmy Carell coming to the inside to cover off the bottom for Rodrigo Gonzalez there. Another driver dropping a wheel on the exit coming out of turn number 14. Everybody used that little bit on the outside as they try to use all of that exit pavement, that concrete on the outside of that racetrack. See some drivers diving to the inside, leveraging that draft. Others going to the outside to try to get the run down into turn number 1. It's still Masella leading. Cooley running in second. That driver looking for his first victory as well. Flirted with it last year on his USF2000 debut at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Qualified on the pole position. Was able to get a podium, but also got together with another driver and ended up having an incident in turn number 1. He wants to have a clean one here. Cooley looking for that first victory for Exclusive Autosport here on the weekend. Digging hard as Matt Clark, as we know, has done a good job for them in USF Pro 2000. Jack Jeffers back up on the wheel, trying to see if he can't scrap it out here with Caleb Gaffaro. Jeffers to the inside. Book it. He's through as well. Jack Jeffers goes to P3. A little bit of a wingman now for Cooley. As Jeffers into 3rd, Cooley runs 2nd. They're going to both go after Musella, Teddy Musella. Martella currently back in the 9th spot as he's battled out there with Eddie Beswick and Joshua Lionel. Good stuff here as you see the gap forming between, I want to say, that's one of the D-Force cars. Garzone, I think, back to Hauk. Yeah, so that's the big gap we have right now. That is 11th back to 12th, over a second from Garzone in 11th back to Ayrton Hauk in 12th.
And right at the tail end of the field, they're still getting some elbows thrown out there. They were 3 wide on the way to 8.
Listen, this is a driver development program. I don't care where you are on your level of development, on your learning curve. As long as you got somebody there where you're able to go wheel to wheel with battle in out, you're still learning, and that's the beauty of this series. There are some drivers that come in and they're raw rookies to racing or at this level or this particular car. They're going to find someone to race with, and they're going to get better, and they're going to get better, and they're going to move their way up the order. And when they come back for that second year of competition, I've said this year on year, they are heads and tails different and better than they were that first year that they came racing. They've got so much more experience. They're not as maybe shook by some of the stuff that happens on the racetrack. They understand the systems of the team every race weekend. The drivers that come back the second year are the ones that are in the championship contention.
Absolutely, and those are the ones that you find themselves on the 3rd step, 2nd step, 3rd step, 2nd step, 4th, 5th. Those top 5s make all the difference in the world. The consistency is what you're really looking for in those championship chases.
Good pass there for G3. Argyro's got a good run on, I believe, Lucas Facuri for 6, so he moved himself back in there. G3 was a driver who started a little further back in the race itself. I think he was 9th in the order for race 1. Right before that kind of last green-white checker, that last 1-lap dash, he was 7th. Somehow, with all the chaos, came out P3. Surprised everybody that he ended up in the 3rd spot. He surprised himself, but he was obviously very happy with that. So he's back up on the wheel, working his way forward right now. He started a little deeper in the field, 10th. He's worked his way now up to potentially 6th, though. Again, that's a successful race. Pick off the drivers, get those points, move yourself forward. and see if he can't get the job done. There's Garzone making a move down to the inside of Jeshua Leonel. So those are two D-Force drivers going at it. Garzone now up into 11th spot. Leonel goes back into 12th. Right there with them, Timmy Carell as well, the Jay Howard driver development pilot, right in it. So again, I want to say Caleb Gaffera may have gotten back around Jack Jeffers. They're still there. Pardon me. It's actually Keeble that's got around Gaffera. So Keeble's up to 4th. Gaffera's now back to 5th. 5 laps to go. Teddy Masella out front right now, a talented young driver who knows how to get the job done. And we'll see whether or not this is going to be the race for Teddy Masella to come away with the win. Eric, I talked about the fact that Masella, although he hasn't been setting the world on fire over the first part of the year, he's that driver who's been kind of just off the podium. Coming into this weekend, he had the one podium finish, but everything else he had done was essentially right in the middle of the fight there as well. Indeed, he starts the season off with a 14th. Tough race to start it off at St. Petersburg, but comes back with an 8th, a 5th, an 8th, and a 6th. Great job at NOLA. 4th and 2nd at IMS. 6th on the oval at IRP. This is a young driver just learning this race car, learning this series, and he's not finishing outside the top 8. And that's what we're seeing. A podium again in race number 1. Is a win come here today? That's the driver we're talking about, who was a rookie, probably isn't right now.
Well, and a lot of that is just going to be confidence in the race car, confidence in the team, and certainly along the development route, how to manage your tires, how to manage the race car, how to manage your gaps. Sometimes you got to push the car as hard as you can, but there's also a time to push and a time to kind of just get into a rhythm, save what you've got, and then push at the end when you need it.
Yeah, because the challenge is coming. Cooley and Jeffers are starting to roll up on him here, so there's going to be a challenge here for the race win potentially here. But I'll tell you this, Teddy Masella knows how to win. 5 victories last year in the JSF4 series, which was the former F4 USF or US Championship. There's a couple of drivers, contact coming down here. We've got 2 drivers have gone off. Contact for 2 drivers. 4 laps to go. Are we going to restack this thing again like we did in race number 1? We got a driver off in the gravel on the right side in turn 5. The other driver immediately pulling to the inside on the run up to turn number 6. More damage from a car further back. I believe that's Ayrton Hauk, and he's got right front damage. He's going to go straight off the racetrack.
The toe link's broken.
Yeah, couldn't get that thing turned. So Hauk was running in the 15th spot, and indeed full course yellow. And remember, these are long laps. So is Hauk and potentially, I want to say Rodrigo Gonzalez. That looks to be one of the D-Force drivers. So it might have been those 2 guys battling for 15th. Hauk is off the racetrack. You can see the damage to the left front. So he's tried to get up the hill. And indeed, that's a D-Force car. So we are going to reset it. The long laps around here and the ability of the AMR safety team to get things cleaned back up means it's not going to take a ton of time. They have not yet got to Ayrton Hauk as of yet, who is on the outside of the entry to turn number 7. Teddy Masella with the lead, Evan Cooley in 2nd, Jack Jefferson 3rd, Harley Keeble 4th after getting around Caleb Gaffera. G3 Argyros in the 6th spot. 7th is Lucas Facuri, 8th Anthony Martella, 9th Eddie Beswick, and 10th is Sebastian Garzone. They've been able to pull that car back.
Looks like it lost the rear wing. Potentially.
No, I think it's still there.
Oh, is it still there? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I saw somebody put something in the back of the truck there for a moment.
He may actually be fine.
Oh, he is.
They fire him up. He pulls away.
Just got buried.
Yeah, so the guy that comes out with this one here, there's going to be a bunch of gravel there. Do your best to knock that on the track for us. All right, so let's have a look at the incident here as these 2 drivers involved are going to crisscross each other. Gonzalez rolled his way back. The AMR IndyCar safety team will now work their way up to Ayrton Hauk to try to get him back on. Here's the move coming down the inside. Ayrton's going to turn in, and he's going to make left front to right rear contact. That's all it's going to be, isn't it?
And
watch this. Wait for it, and there it is right there. Just probably needed to leave just a little more room. Here's the other shot there. I think he was probably expecting the D-Force car to continue to get on the wheel to get around the corner. Of course, he can't see Ayrton. He's already looking through the corner and trying to see where he's going to be. And that's where you need to leave just a little bit more room. Tough one there for Ayrton Hauk.
And that's a hard judgment of whether it's on on the car that's already 3/4 of the way past, and you're still turning in. So there's a way that you can look at that situation from both perspectives. And again, what is this series for? Learning.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate, but in that situation, Ayrton Hauk knows that he probably should have maybe bailed out a little bit there and gone wide.
Yeah, or the over-under. He was kind of alongside it. Probably could have went way wide and checked up. It's a tough call at that point. You're going to try to hold the outside, potentially get the run. Maybe thinks he's able to get a better run through under braking. Bottom line was it was left front to right rear contact. Ayrton Hauk out of the car, so this one's going to require the hook. They're not going to refire this and put him back out there. So 9 laps in. Remember, this is a 12-lap race. As they come through the accident scene now, the field will work its way through. See the AMR's team directing the pace car in the direction of travel. They're going to bring it in here to be able to get that thing hooked up. Again, one of the beauties, listen, the AMR safety team, in crazy incidents like the one we had earlier with Ian Bossoff or with JT Hoskins, they're on the scene because these guys are doctors and firefighters and EMTs, right? These guys know how to handle situations and motorsport specific situations, which is the best of it. In this case here, sometimes they're just traffic directors. Go here and do this, doing their best to get those cars up on the hooks as quickly as possible, because they are one of the main reasons we're able to get a lot of green flag racing. In other series where they struggle to be able to get accidents cleaned up quickly and they're losing laps, we don't have that. We're literally losing a lap here, lap there, maybe 2 or 3 at the most, or if it's going to be a longer one, we have a longer time window so that we can go red and bring the drivers into pit lane. The bottom line here is we're very likely, I would say, one more lap around, we may have another 1-lap dash the way it's playing out. What do you think, Eric? Can they get it cleaned up enough maybe to go green this time by?
Well, there is a cut in 7 just behind where they are. If they go to the cut, though, they could go down to 8 and be clear at the cut down there as well. So in that situation,
there it is. There's the answer to the question. We're being told.
2 laps.
Yeah, 2 laps. Lights out on the pace car. We are going green flag racing. Masella, Cooley, Jeffers, Keeble, Gaffera, top 5, Argyros, Facuri, Martella, Beswick, Garzone. Inside this top 10, there is only 1 or 2 USF2000 race winners, Jack Jeffers and G3 Argyros. The rest looking for that first win. Oh, how does that change the potential outcome here? All these drivers hungry. Remember, they're all used to winning races in karting as well, coming up through the ranks, whatever series they use to get to USF2000. We are going racing. AMR's IndyCar safety team bringing up the rear.
How about those Silverados keeping up with the pace car?
What kind of suspension? Let's dial in that rebound on those things. Very nicely done. They'll work their way back up to the turn 5 position, make sure they're ready should everything happen on the racetrack and be on the scene. But again, here we go. Punching off. Time to go racing. Green flag at start finish. How about a 2-lap dash? Grab your beer. Come to the fence, folks. 2 laps to go for USF2000, their last race of the doubleheader here at Road America. Here come the 2 exclusive Autosport cars. How about 3 wide coming down the front straightaway? Who's going to come away with it? Cooley, Jeffers. He's been on the outside already today. He's going to try it again. They'll work their way out here. 3 wide coming out of the corner. Hold your breath, everybody. Yeah, I think maybe Jeffers may have had to check up there. He's going to be on the outside. He'll lose at least 1 spot. I believe Keeble able to get by Jeffers. Wow, that was touchy after what we saw in race number 1. Masella's going to hold the spot, but Jeffers right back at it on Keeble coming down into turn number 5. Wait for the excitement of the final 2 races. Jeffers back into position again, I believe. Look at the big brake lockup deep in the field. That's Argyros. Another driver's gone deep into the corner. That might have been Jeffers, not quite sure. Back up the hill. This is going to potentially come into it, be a 2-driver fight up front. It's stacked everybody back up. Jeffers doing whatever he can to stop the bleeding right now as he has fallen down the order, having made a couple of minor mistakes. That outside run may not have been the best call as he tried to make it 3 wide coming down into turn number 1. Check back up. Let's see how they stack up again. Lucas Facuri right in there as well as part of 3 exclusive Autosport cars inside the top 10. But the battle right now, Eric, coming down through the carousel, Teddy Masella still leads.
And just a couple of cars to step out, but everybody trying to hug the inside line, that double apex of the carousel, now towards the kinks, sail it on in there. This is where it is time to go now. Less than about 6 miles to go here at Road America for USF2000, presented by Continental Tire. Who's going to push these Continental Tires to the edge up front?
4 winners on the season. Do we get a 5th? We got 5 wins for McNeely, a win for Jeffers, 2 wins for Schrag, and a win for Martella. Do we have a new victor? Is it winner number 5 on the season here for USF 2000? 2-lap dash to the end. White flag will fly this next time by. Remember, once we get across the line, if there's a yellow, we'll do the best we can to try to get them to finish the lap. Otherwise, they will race through to the full course. Final lap for USF 2000 on this trip to Road America. Masella with a big lead. Strong run here right now. Evan Cooley second. Keeble, Gaffera, Argyros, Facuri, Martella, Jeffers, Garzone, and Beswick. That is your top 10. But look at the back here. 2 wide again, coming down into turn number 1. Man, oh man, these drivers are digging. Everybody trying to get that last little bit on the final lap. Teddy Masella looking for his first victory. VRD Racing looking to sweep the weekend. They've already got a win here with Thomas Schrag. Can they get one with young Teddy Masella? The big driver on the move right now, I believe, is Harley Keeble. He's in 3rd. He's trying to get that draft on Evan Cooley. If he starts putting pressure on Cooley, Cooley can't focus forward. He may be the best friend of Masella right now. Cooley right on him. Eric coming down through turn number 5.
3 wide on the entry.
Oh.
You know there's going to be a little wheel-to-wheel contact there. Indeed there was. Everybody kind of skates through, but on the way underneath the Corvette bridge, everybody back to 2 wide and making another attempt to dive to the inside. But this battle up front going to pick up a little bit here in the final about 2 miles.
I think that was Jack Jeffers potentially by Anthony Martella to make up another spot as the 2 drivers right behind there are the 2 exclusive Autosport cars as well. Maybe actually it might be Martella by Facuri, to be honest with you. Let's watch as they come through the final lap here. Evan Cooley, what do you got? Do you have anything to go deep maybe into Canada or get that run out of 14? The big run to the line. We know what the draft plays here. He is close. Is it going to be a first one for Masella, Cooley, or Keeble? All lining up to potentially go for the win. We've seen guys from 3rd get a better run up the hill and draft by both drivers to the line. This is going to be a close one. Look at Cooley all over him here right now. Evan Cooley for exclusive Autosport on VRD's Masella. Watch them come up out of the hill. There's Keeble. He's ready to make it happen as well. You can't make the dive bomb to 14 because you give up the race win. What do they have coming through 14? Here they go. Masella with a good run. Keeble trying to push as well. Gaffera's there. I don't think Cooley's got it. They'll work their way up the hill. Twin checkers are out, and the winner of race number 2 in USF 2000, it's going to be Teddy Masella. Masella wins. Cooley second. Keeble third. Gaffera, Argyros, Martella, Jeffers, Facuri, Garzone, and Beswick. Thomas Schrag up into 13th, Jeffers 7th. There's the little clawback for Jack Jeffers, as Schrag was only going to be able to get a couple of spots. Jeffers, who started pole, got shuffled back after a couple of minor miscues, tried to go on the outside of turn number 1, 3 wide. That did not pay off. He had to check up big time, got streamed by a bunch of drivers. Teddy Masella just played this thing perfectly, Eric, and I love seeing a young rookie driver get the job done like that. That was textbook. Stay out of trouble, get the job done. Make everybody else fight behind you, although great runs as well for Evan Cooley and Harley Keeble. And look at 4 rookies in the front. G3 Argyros behind his teammate Caleb Gaffera. The best second-year driver, Argyros, P5.
Well, you know, in that situation, Teddy Masella played the start on the outside of the front row perfectly there. Kind of gave himself a little bit of momentum, but didn't panic, stayed outside, dropped back a couple of spots, worked his way back through. We had the mid-race yellow that bunches the field back up, and able to capitalize on a really good restart off of 14. But you look at that championship battle, you know, Thomas Schrag had that win earlier today, and Jeffers finished in that 17th position. And now the Jeffers gets a couple of possessions, or a couple of positions back on on Schrag at the end. So 4 or 5 positions, that's a couple of points.
Yeah.
So Jeffers gets a little bit of a rebound there.
At least a handful back, right? And again, thinking about the momentum moving into the next season, Jack was right there to try to get it done. But again, it's a huge run for Teddy Masella. Fantastic for him. Evan Cooley on the podium again as well. He'd be happy with that. I'll give you a chance to give the full field rundown. I'm going to head down to Victory Lane. Eric, I look forward to being back with you tomorrow morning as well, my friend. I know you got work to do this afternoon, but
absolutely.
Give me one of those.
Thank you, Rob.
See you tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Looking at your official finish or unofficial finish here, Teddy Masella, your winner. Evan Cooley will finish in the second position. Harley Keeble finds themselves on the podium in the 7 machine. Caleb Gaffar and G3 Argyros will be your top 5. Anthony Martella will finish 6th. Jack Jeffers will finish 7th. Lucas Ficuri in 8th. The 12 of Sebastian Garcon. Eddie Beswick will be in the 10th spot. The back half of the field, Christian Cameron in the 19. I believe there is a penalty for the unofficial results coming in. So some of these positions may change as well. But Jeshua Alano in the 12th spot. Thomas Schrag, your points leader, finishes 13th after starting deep in the field, only able to get up to that 13th spot from the 15th starting position. Thomas Norquist will finish 14th. Timothy Carroll will finish in 8th. Leanne Bischoff will finish in 16th. The 18 of Rodrigo Gonzalez. The 99 of Ryan Janetta. Kaylee Kutcherman in 19th. And the 58 of Ayrton Hauk ends up in the gravel at turn 7. And will finish in 20th. And Patricio Gonzalez for D-Force Racing will wind up 21st. Of course, best wishes to JT Hoskins coming back to the racetrack after spending the night down in Milwaukee. But JT, we're just glad that you're okay and glad you're back at the racetrack for Jay Howard Driver Development. But VRD Racing comes away with 2 wins on the day. Of course, Thomas Schrag wins round number 1 and round number 2 for Teddy Masella for VRD Racing. And again, these drivers, the mental fatigue, the physical fatigue on these races. A big smile, but you can see a little labored breathing there, but just wanted to pause for a moment and climbing out of the car. And this is where the adrenaline kicks in as you're in these very warm race cars on a 89 to 91 degree day here today. Jumping out, pumped up and excited is Teddy Masella. A great drive for VRD Racing. And I'm sure we're going to want to get some water at all 3 of our podium finishers here. All of our drivers really putting forth the effort. It's hot inside these race cars, most certainly. But a big celebration coming here at the podiums here at America's National Park of Speed. The USF 2000 championship gets a little bit tighter. Of course, I believe Schrag had about maybe a 30-point advantage coming into this race, too. That's going to shorten a little bit as Jack Jeffers is able to come away with about 5 or 6 positions back using the backup car for this race, too. After starting from the pole, Jeffers had the off and made a couple of mistakes. But maybe, though, as Rob mentioned, brake pedal being a little bit different in the second car and missing a braking position. Maybe the car not quite the exact same setup, but a great drive for Jack Jeffers, though a good recovery, I should say, after starting from the pole, still finishing 7th for the 92 machine of Jack Jeffers after finishing 21st earlier in the day in race number 1 here at Road America. The USF Pro Championships continue tomorrow morning, race number 3 for the Pro 2000. This is it for USF 2000 for the weekend. These teams will pack up and head on down the road for the next round here with the USF Pro Championships. But we've got to celebrate a little bit here first for USF 2000. But the USF Pro 2000 Championship tomorrow morning, 7:55, early in your day here at Road America. We'll likely wake you up coming up at about 7:20 tomorrow morning is when we'll send you the wake-up call. Let's celebrate Rob Howden in Victory Lane for USF 2000.
Eric, thank you so much. Some very happy drivers down here getting their first runs, first wins, first time on the podium. Excellent drives for these guys in the Elite Engines. Grand Prix of Road America. Let's start here, wrapping up, of course, things for USF 2000. First, a shout-out to JT Hoskins. He is here with us right now after that incident. JT, great to have you here. Awesome to see. Finishing in 3rd spot, his teammate at Jay Howard Driver Development. Give it up for Harley Keeble.
Becca Potke will bring the P3 trophy in here for us for Harley. Awesome job for Harley. Becca, come on in there. Second USF Pro 2000, or rather Pro Championship event. Ran juniors 2 weeks ago. A solid third place finish here. Finishing in the second spot, solid run for Exclusive Autosport, Evan Cooley. Logan Knapp will present us with the trophy here. Of course, all of our family from Elite Engines helping us out here. Of course, their race and helping us dole out some hardware. So we got 5 different winners on the season, ladies and gentlemen. His first victory. It was a hard-fought one. These ones are worth it for sure. The victor today, folks, for VRD Racing, Teddy Masella. Teddy, the tough ones are often the best ones, right? You had to work so hard back and forth on that one. Can you just give me some insight, first on how it feels to win here in USF 2000?
Absolutely amazing feeling. Throughout the hard work that I've put through this whole season, it's just so good that it finally came to a result of winning the race. Though it was such a hard start, fell back a little bit, I think to P5 or P6. Then just kept my head cool, just going through the positions slowly. And then once we got to the lead, the second restart, just completely super hard because the draft for that people get behind you is so much that I just kept my head cool, went deep on the brakes into turn 1 and kept the position. And then from there on, just keeping it cool and just taking away the win.
Yeah, you did a fantastic job staying out front with these two guys breathing down your neck. Who do you want to thank today with that first victory?
I want to thank my dad, my sponsors, Strassi Competizione, my family, Dan, Jacob, my spotter, Dwayne, all of them. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to do any of this, so thank you to all of them.
Teddy, congratulations. Well done. Let's bring that trophy in here, folks. His first USF 2000 hardware, P1 hardware, that is. Fantastic drive for Teddy Masella. And again, on the restart, able to hold off both of the Exclusive Autosport cars, both Cooley and Jeffers. They were 3 wide going down into turn number 1. Didn't play that way when they got down into turn number 3. A lot of action on those final couple of laps, and not surprising with USF 2000 putting on a show like they did. Again, love seeing these young drivers up here ready to work their way forward in this program. Some very talented competitors here in USF 2000 this year. 5th different winner on the season. Jack Jeffers finishing a little bit better than Thomas Schrag, so that gap that we had after Thomas's win earlier today, and Jack finishing at the tail of the field, minimizing the damage a little bit. It'll tighten things up as we head to Mid-Ohio in just 2 weeks' time. Mid-Ohio, Toronto, and Portland, all that's left for the drivers here as we get into the second half of the season, and as we head for these drivers looking to score that scholarship that would move them to USF Pro 2000 in 2026. 3 different teams represented on the podium as well: VRD Racing, Exclusive Autosport, and Jay Howard Driver Development. It just shows the level of equity that we have throughout our paddock. So many great teams. Anybody can win on any given weekend, and that is the beauty of this driver development program, all focused on moving drivers up into Indy Next and the NTT IndyCar Series. We're not quite done, of course, here from Road America. Tomorrow morning, we have the USF Pro 2000 drivers capping off their triple header, all part of the Elite Engines Grand Prix of Road America. So wherever you are around the racetrack, you'll hear the dulcet tones of Eric Miller waking you up in the morning, then the beautiful exhaust notes of these race cars from Elite Engines as they're on the racetrack to provide you with the best absolute wake-up alarm you can possibly get. All right, Champagne getting passed out. Hold on to it in a second here, boys. We'll get that number 25 VRD machine of Teddy Masella out of the way. It is clear. Guys, for the last time here at Road America, grip it and rip it for USF 2000. Teddy Masella with the race win. Evan Cooley coming home in second, and Harley Keeble in third. Fantastic drive for all 3 of these drivers to cap things off from us. Beautiful and a hot Saturday here at Road America. For all of you around the racetrack, hope you stayed cool. Pop open a cold one. Enjoy the remainder of the day. Obviously, the big show coming tomorrow. We'll cap things off with USF Pro 2000 tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Otherwise, that caps off our 4th broadcast here of the day, 4th race of the day, rather, 3rd broadcast here on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks. We'll be back tomorrow morning, USF Pro 2000, to cap off the triple header. Again, thank you so much for tuning in from Road America on behalf of Anderson Promotions and Continental Tire. My name is Rob Howden. Bye for now.